All right. Good morning and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. My name is Adam. I will be a facilitator for this session, and I want to go over a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You as the attendee can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to the presenters' information during the time of the session. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO, CACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, once again, CACRAO, CACRAO.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
I'm not sure if y'all can hear him or not. I can't, so I'm gonna just jump in and talk about this a little bit. So we are talking about private colleges and universities. We each represent one here in South Carolina or North Carolina. And one of the things that is special about private colleges, as Hunter was screen sharing, was the personalized and individualized attention that you can get at a private college. Their students are more than just a number. You have smaller class sizes. All of us here at that are presenting, all four colleges have less than 1,300 students attending there in the undergraduate programs. And so you get a smaller class feel, an average of anywhere between 15 to 20 students per class. So you get to know your professors and you get a better idea of if you have questions, you can go to the professors and you can ask questions and they'll be able to help you. And then with students themselves, you're more than a number. You can go to the next one. You get, like that, smaller colleges, whether they see classes or private colleges, smaller, which allows professors to get to know their students. As an example of that, when I was a student, I had relationship advice from one of my professors. I'm now married to my girlfriend of the time, and so it worked partially. And then a year after I graduated, they were able to recommend me for this job, and that's how I got here, was through my connection with a professor at CIU. So, well, specifically, that's who I represent. But they really, you can get to know your professors, and they can help serve you while you're at school, but also after you're gone from college. You can go and still sometimes when you go to a smaller school and you get those smaller classes at college, they can help serve you getting a job sometimes even afterwards. So don't underestimate the impact there of that. You can keep going, Hunter. There's a strong sense of community. Yeah, smaller colleges are universally known for the strong sense of community. That is one of the biggest things when you ask a student who attends a small private institution what one of their favorite parts are. One, the professors and how much they care for the students, and two, the community there and how well you can get connected with other students while you're here. And then, is that the last one, Hunter? Yeah, he has that one. So With that, so I'm going to go ahead and share. Well, there you go. Private colleges, yes. So there's another thing. They award more scholarships than public colleges. We even get for specific states. So South Carolina specifically, there's a South Carolina tuition grant, which is only eligible for private colleges if you're attending that. So that can help. We also we have our private budgets, and we can award more for merit and more for if you're athletic or whatever it may be, you can get more scholarships from a private institution than public, and we're a little bit more flexible with our scholarships. Overall, if you come and talk to your admissions counselor, financial aid counselor, we really do care about the students who are coming in, and we want to help you with making college affordable. And so we may be more approachable than some of the bigger ones, but it may be more affordable than you may think. So I'm going to jump into my side. So I am James Ackerman. I represent Columbia International University. Been here for about 3 years, and I was a student here and graduated in 2016. And then I came back a year later, start working here. So at CIU, we are a private Christian university here in Columbia, South Carolina. We have been around for almost 100 years. We're at 97 years right now. So in just 3 years, we'll hit that 100-year mark. Started as a Bible college. Specifically, everybody just studied Bible. We've grown from there a good bit. Everybody still studies a Bible core while they are a student here, but they also got So you still study a Bible core, but you have the majors here that you can study. There's Bible teaching, business administration. There's a good amount of majors that we offer, 24 in total, and they range from ministry related specifically or to whatever it may be in psychology and business. If you notice three of these here, pastoral theology, psychology, and teacher education, those three programs that we have can be taken in 5 years. You can get your undergraduate degree and your master's in 5 years. So you can cut down 1, 2, or even 3 years of time, depending on what you're going for. So if you want to be a counselor, if you want to be a child psychologist or something like that, psychology in 5 years, teacher education, if you want to work in early elementary education, that's the one that's focused on, you can get it in 5 years. And then pastoral theology, if you want to be a pastor, you have that option as well to do in 5 years. So, and then the other top programs that we have, business administration and intercultural studies are two of the other top ones that CIU has as well. When you go into college, we encourage you to do a few things. And at CIU, we encourage all of our students to connect while they're here, to engage, and to belong while they're at college. So those are the three I'm going to go through. Connecting means getting involved. Find a club that you're interested in. So we have some clubs listed here. These are some of the more popular ones. So for example, the Adventure Club. You have rock climbing and mountain biking and kayaking and all sorts of different things, and it's just for fun. There's no credit involved with it, but it is a club that you can be involved with. If you want to work more on your editing skills or more on your writing skills, you could join the Rambler, which is our newspaper kind of each year. And then there's even the Credo, which is an even more advanced academic written paper. So if you like writing, there are those. So as I said, this is just a few lists. We actually have 21 clubs on campus. That's the last I heard. So these are just a few, and a lot of those, like Level 99, were started by students. So we encourage our students. That's another perk of going to a small university. We encourage our students to get involved with what they like, get involved in what they want to do, and then share that with the rest of the campus. We had a student who really loved disc golf, and his senior year, we put in a disc golf course. I mean, he worked for it. He was the student body president, but he worked for it for a couple of years, and we put in a disc golf course his senior year. And then, as for example, like the clubs and everything, Level 99, those are ones that we encourage our students to start and support them with. Engaging at CIU. Not getting engaged, though that does happen in college, and especially in smaller colleges, but engaging while you're a student, making a difference while you're here. So we have a couple of different options to do that: mission trips, disaster relief programs, study tours, Christian service learning internships. Study tours are something that I wish I had taken advantage of while I was a student. You get credit while you're overseas or in the country. For example, on the communications program, they go down to Orlando and go to the behind the scenes of Disney, and they learn more about that in the communications program. So that's an option there. There are also some study abroad overseas programs, one to Israel and others. And then internships, every major you take, every single one requires you to do an internship in your field. And so that we help you with finding those, and we help you with determining which one you should go for. Belonging at CIU, identify and meet a need on campus. I'll just go over these top ones. Join a club, as I mentioned before, become a peer mentor, academic success center. So academic success is to help other students with studying, with writing papers and other things. And you can even get paid to do it. So there are other options beside that one, but you can get paid, you get a job to help students, other students participate in campus events. So this one may surprise you in terms of how important it is. And honestly, in everything that you do when you're in college and even everywhere, be involved in college. So this one specifically, participate in campus events. When I was a student, I always went and helped with events. I never got paid for it. I wasn't a student worker or anything, but I always went and helped because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting new people. And I only learned this 3 weeks ago, but apparently when I was being interviewed, that was one of the things that came back and said he was always at events. He was always there to help. And I think he would be great at this job. And so you never know what it might help you with doing that, participating. Make your academic experience worth the price of tuition. While you're here, use everything that's available to you. Use all of the free things that we give to you: advising, tutoring, study areas. Communicate with professors about your needs. Our professors love to eat lunch with students, and they welcome that almost every day of the week. So, and then do your part to make the life-changing community even better. We have a fairly diverse background for a lot of our students. Some internationals, Brazil, Germany, Italy, Poland are a few that I know of. Get involved with other students and learn more about their cultures, learn where they're coming from, and just learn, about other people while you're at CIU. So yeah, and a part on that, everybody who loves CIU did their part in making it better. They started clubs, they got involved, and they enjoyed it. We have close to 19,000 graduates in 150 countries around the world. So really, you can come to CIU and go anywhere that you want to. And then new students on campus means an exciting shift in culture. Be someone who makes next year's students excited to attend. So if you have any questions about CIU specifically or about anything else, this is my contact information, my email and phone number. I'd be glad to help at any point. I'm going to try to turn it back over to Hunter if his audio is working. Going to make sure that that's good, and I'll turn it back over to him. All right, he may be having a couple of problems. Let's turn it over to Destiny at Coker College.
All right, everyone, looks like Destiny also might be experiencing some issues. So I'll go ahead and go with my presentation. So let's see here. All right, so my name is Clarissa Orick, and I am an admissions counselor at Newberry College. Newberry College is located in Newberry, South Carolina, which is just about 30 minutes north of Columbia. And what I'm going to be talking about today are some myth busters. So there are myths about small private colleges that I'm going to kind of talk about with you guys today, and then kind of reference how Newberry goes against those myths. So basically, we're busting those myths. So the first myth is that private schools are too expensive. So what we like to refer to that is the sticker price. So you see that really large number that kind of scares you and kind of throws you off, and you're not really wanting to kind of pursue a private education because finances are very important, and being able to afford to go to college and also have not a lot of student loan debt is very important to everybody. So for example, for Newberry, our sticker price is $39,450 for the school year. With that sticker price, that includes your tuition, fees, room, and board. So your dorm room and your meal plan. But on average, most students pay less than $15,000 to go to Newberry, and that's for the whole school year. And more students even pay a little bit less than that. We bring in all kinds of aids, such as from the FAFSA, your Pell Grants, the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellows, and something specifically for Newberry College is that every one of our students gets an academic scholarship. So that's going to be based on merit. That'll be your GPA and your test score. So no matter where you fall on the spectrum, you will get a partial academic scholarship for Newberry College, and that will be for each year you attend here, so all 4 years. Something else I'd like to highlight is 96% of Newberry College students receive some form of financial aid. So whether it's our academic scholarship, a music scholarship, the Pell Grant, there's also some other aid that we allocate based on need, and we take a very individualized approach to our financial aid packages. So with us being a small private school, we can really delve into everyone's financial aid packages and meet with you one-on-one and kind of supplement aid where we can and meet you where you're at. And something that we're very proud of that was just released is that Newberry College is actually #1 in the state of South Carolina for the least amount of student loan debt. So even though we are a private school and we have that sticker price, our graduates are leaving here with less student loan debt than most of the other colleges and universities in the state of South Carolina. Myth number 2 is that private schools are less diverse. So we do have a student population of 1,200 students. We are a small campus size, but we do have students from 21 different states and 23 different countries. We're very representative of the area that we live in. We have students from a little bit of everywhere, obviously mostly in South Carolina since we are a South Carolina college. A lot of students from the bordering states, people from Canada, from China, Japan, a little bit of everywhere. And then of our population, 40% are first generation students. So basically what that means is you're a student that neither of your parents attended college, and you were the first one in your family to attend. And that was me as well. So I was a first generation college student. Myth number 3 is private schools have fewer clubs and activities. So that kind of ties back into us being so small. You might not think that we can offer so many opportunities for our students to get involved inside and outside the classroom. So one thing that we do have that most people don't know is that we do actually have a study abroad program. So for those of you who are interested in taking a month to go to another country, take maybe 1 or 2 classes, but still be able to travel and explore the world, that is definitely an option for you. So here at Newberry, we have something called a Maymester class, and everyone does have to take 1 class in May. You do have the option to opt in for the study abroad program, and it's completely all-inclusive. You get your travel, all your excursions, food, but that is a separate cost from the tuition that we mentioned earlier. We go to France, we go to Germany, we've gone to Costa Rica, Austria, Italy, a little bit of everywhere. We do also have over 50 clubs, organizations, so depending on what you're interested in, there's definitely something to get involved in, whether it's our fishing team, the nursing association, our esports program. So if you're interested in online competitive video gaming, we offer that as well. We do have a Greek life system. We have 9 fraternities and sororities on campus. So if you're interested in being in part of a brotherhood or a sisterhood, it's a great way to have that family away from home, to kind of bond with new students, get to know people, get involved. And our Greek life is actually top leaders on campus. They have the highest GPAs on campus, as well as last year for their philanthropies, which are areas that they donate a lot of their money and time to. They raised over $70,000. So that's between monetary values that they raised from the community, as well as hours that they donated into the community as well. So they're very, very involved. We do have honor societies and honor programs if you are interested in more of a rigorous classwork and more actual activities as far as research opportunities. We have intramural sports, so if you wanted some more fun competitive instead of like athletics doing more highly intensive competitiveness, we do have those intramural sports if you and your friends just wanted to kind of do 4-versus-4 basketball or a badminton game, sand volleyball. There's a little bit of something for everybody. And for those of you who are on here that are interested in being a D2 athlete, we do have over 20 different athletic teams that you can join as well. Myth number 4 is that private schools have less programs of study. So at Newberry, we actually have quite a large variety of programs to become a part of. So with us having a liberal arts education, we do offer a little bit of everything for someone to take. We have 33 majors, 31 minors, and 26 concentrations. So that ranges from any one of our music programs, music education, music theory, a really high rigorous teacher education program, communications, business, a variety of health professions. So as you see there, the 10 pre-professional tracks, we have pre-vet, pre-dental, pre-law, pre-med. If that's a pre, we have it. We also offer 5 dual degree programs. So a great example of that is our pre-engineering program. We actually partner with Clemson to offer that program. So students actually attend Newberry for 3 years and then go on to Clemson for 2 more years. So it is 5 years, but you actually end up getting 2 bachelor's degrees, one in mathematics and one in the area of engineering that you're interested in. And we do have a few cooperative programs, so that's going to be more of a bachelor's going into a master's program. So we offer that for our environmental management program with Duke University. And then we also have a few others in the pharmacy area as well. So that's pretty much what I've shared about Newberry College, but if you are interested in learning more, this is my business card here. So definitely feel free to jot that down, as well as this slideshow will be saved, be live next week. So you guys can always get this information here or also on our website at newberry.edu. I'm available to call, text, or email and all that fun stuff as well. So what I'll do is I'll try and turn it over to either Hunter or Destiny. Hopefully they have got their information working. I know we're experiencing some technical issues this morning, but we appreciate you guys bearing with us this morning.
While we wait on Hunter, he's logging back in. I'm going to go ahead and go through a frequently asked question that kind of Clarissa talked a little bit about Newberry doing it. But does your program or college, university, offer any travel learn opportunities or study abroad programs? So Clarissa mentioned a few of those. And then I'd like to turn it over to Hunter and Destiny as well, if they can answer this one as well. But yeah, so our university, we connect with we're connected with the best semester ever, I think is what it's called. It's online. You can go to Oxford, you can go overseas, Australia, Scotland. You can study 1 semester there, and you just basically you apply to them and get accepted, and then you pay our cost, but you go overseas and study. We also have for one of our programs, we have a semester, an entire year actually, for Middle Eastern studies. You study at a rabbinical school in Israel, in Jerusalem, JUC. So that's a pretty cool program as well. And then we have a few other options as well. So that's just a frequently asked question. Do you have study abroad programs? I'm going to try to turn it over to Hunter. It looks like he came back on, and see if he could answer that and then talk about his university as well. No, it looks like it's not on there. Unfortunately, his audio is not working today for some reason. But I'm going to see if Destiny can pick up and talk about Coker College. She'll just join in and go from there if we can get her working. Okay, it looks like she's having some issues too. So Clarissa, if you want to just go back and forth, we'll answer some frequently asked questions, I suppose, for private institutions. Another one that we get occasionally, well, I guess do you want to talk, well, I'll ask this one first, but can you get credit for AP or CLEP exams? And the answer is yes, you can. In fact, if you haven't heard of AP or CLEP, I would highly recommend it. CLEPing is college learning something placement test, but you take that test your first school year, your first calendar year of college, and it's basically just a single test that you pay for, and you take either English or math or history or something that you think or you know that you're really good at, and if you pass the CLEP exam, you get those credits. They just get accredited towards your degree, and you don't have to take that class. So I would recommend CLEP. AP is advanced placement. Those are courses that you probably know about, but those are taking while you're in high school through College Board. It's the same idea. You just take the class throughout the entire year, and then you're able to basically get out of the course, so you don't have to take it when you go into college. And then also dual enrollment. If you haven't started that, or if you're thinking about it, is highly recommended. It is cheaper than full-time enrollment. You can take college courses through a college while you're in high school. And we offer dual enrollment online and on campus. Our cost is only $300 total per class, plus your books, of course. But you can take dual enrollment. And Clarissa, if you'd like to talk a little bit about, I guess, those, or ask another question, and I can respond, or whatever you'd like to do for that.
Awesome, thanks. So yeah, I'll touch base on how it works here at Newberry and also go into another question. So we do also accept AP, IB credits. So if you are taking more of those rigorous honors types courses in high school, if you do get at least a 3 or higher on those exams, you can get college credit for those at any institution, but you do have to send them your scores from College Board or the IB website. We also do accept dual enrollment courses. So if you do take any kinds of classes, usually we recommend just those general courses like English 101, 102, public speaking, something that can kind of go to any college while you're still trying to figure out where you would like to go for next fall, or if you're a junior watching this, fall 2022. So as long as you get at least a C at that local technical college or community college, that will transfer over into your institution that you plan on attending for the next 4 years. Also for transfer students who are maybe watching this as well, it's always great to kind of go ahead and reach out to those institutions that you're thinking about attending for fall to kind of see how those courses you're taking in junior and senior year are going to fit into the program of study you're planning on. Not every school does accept everything, especially maybe looking at a nursing major or something that might be more math, science related, making sure you get those courses, because not all biology 101s are the same at every college. So it's good to go ahead and kind of talk to us, so that way we can make sure that you do take something that is transferable. Something that is usually also brought up at private institutions, a lot of it is cost, since we do have that sticker price. So I guess I'll kind of talk about a little bit more in depth about the different types of aid, at least at Newberry, and most of the colleges also on this panel offer as well. So that thing you're going to fill out starting October 1 is called the FAFSA. Hopefully you've all heard about it a little bit. It stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And so that will open October 1. You and at least one parent will need to create an ID and fill out your respective portions and send that to any college that you're considering. It can be sent up to 10 colleges. And from that, we are able to really look at that package for you and really kind of see what you're eligible for. So a lot of students are eligible for a Pell Grant, and that is income-based. That goes up to about $6,000. And then that Live Hope and Palmetto Fellows. So as long as you are in the state of South Carolina, that is something that you are eligible for. And something that we offer specifically at private schools is a South Carolina tuition grant. So that's going to be an extra $3,500 for those students who are interested in attending a private school and do meet the academic requirements for that. Every school does offer student loans. That is by law, federal law. We do have to put those on your financial aid packages, but you're not required to take those out. So if you are not interested in taking out a student loan, that is okay. But if you are interested, just always be aware to take out only what you need. Definitely do not take out $20,000 if you only need $1,000, because that is something you do have to end up paying back afterwards. At Newberry, we have an academic scholarship, and probably a lot of other schools do as well. And then we have something called investment. So that's something that we're able to offer based on needs. So those numbers are all across the board. And then we do have scholarships based on music, band, marching band, a few theater scholarships and athletic scholarships. And you'll see at a lot of universities, everything is stackable. So what that means is you can get a little bit of everything. You can still get that Pell Grant. You can get that academic scholarship and music all together. It's not going to be one or the other. So that's something also that is really great at private schools, being able to offer so many scholarships compared to a public university, and still being able to give you a little bit of everything to make it a little bit more financially convenient for you. All right, James, any other kind of questions you think people typically have about private institutions?
Yeah, well, I wanted to jump on real quick on the financial aid too. So just to give a little bit more in depth on state aid. So she mentioned Hope Life and Palmetto Fellows. Hope is $2,800 per year, and this is for South Carolina residents, of course. $2,800 per year, and that is if you just have a 3.0 GPA. You get that. It doesn't have any test score requirements or anything. But if you start out with Hope, you can get Life the next year. So you can get Life, which is $5,000 next year. Or if you start out with nothing, if you start out with no state aid, you didn't do that well, say your senior year or one of your semesters or school year, you can get your Life scholarship your next year as long as you keep an average of 30 credit hours per school year. So 5 classes typically, 3 apiece per semester. And then an average GPA of 3.0. You can get Life scholarship that following year. At CIU specifically for Palmetto Fellow students, we give you full tuition. And so in free aid, all of tuition is covered. The only cost that you have is room and board. And if you want to take loans to go towards that, you can, obviously, or you could just pay for it as well. And then academic, as Clarissa mentioned, yeah, I believe every school, at least that I know of, offers some sort of academic aid. We offer $3,000 to $12,000 per year, depending on where you land academically. And then as a transfer student, it'd be $3,000 to $8,000. So first-time freshmen with those. One other thing I wanted to touch on, and Clarissa did some of this in her presentation, so I don't know how much she'll have to add, but is a question about athletics and about sports. What divisions are they? And I think Clarissa talked about her specifically, but CIU, we have, I think it's 8 different sports teams, could be 9. We have basketball, cross country, track, volleyball, women's volleyball, and men's soon. We have golf, and we have soccer and softball and baseball. But all of that, you can get in touch with the coach and everything, of course, to look at being in one of those programs and one of those sports teams. We are in the NAIA, which is the Appalachian Atlantic Conference. And so it's non-divisional except for basketball, Division II there, but you still are able to get scholarships for being on the team. And if you are on the team, you would get, if the coach chooses to, they award scholarships. You can actually, for CIU, get in touch with the coach directly. If you go to CIURams.com, you can fill out a prospective athlete form and you can get in touch with them if you are interested in being on the team, and specific for each team, it'll ask you different questions that they may want to know for that. And then, of course, if you continue to play well in your team, then the coaches may notice you as well. So, Clarissa, did you have anything to add on athletics or how to get in touch with a coach from Newberry?
Yeah, so our process is exactly the same way. So on our athletics page for Newberry, there is all of our coaches' information. You just click on your respective sport for men's or women's, and then you have actually all of our coaches' contact information on there. Majority of them is mainly email. We do have some phone numbers to call as well, but the best way to begin that process is filling out that recruit form for that respective sport. You're able to put all your information about you and all your athletic stats as well that they'll be looking for. And each sport is very different as to how they like to receive videos. That usually is on the website, but there's usually a common one that most people know about as well that is on our athletics page. We did receive a question in our Q&A box that I'll actually answer as well. The question is, can you provide some ideas to how small schools use ACT and SAT scores for admission and merit scholarships? So that is a fantastic question. So I'll speak for Newberry first, and then I'll let James talk about CIU. But for Newberry, we do require to send in a transcript and your test scores for admissions. At this time, we are still in the process of reviewing to figure out whether we will be test optional or not for fall 2021. So please stay tuned and up to date on our website where we do make those updates, but we have not made the decision just yet. So right now we are still requiring a transcript and an ACT or SAT test score. At Newberry, we take the holistic approach very seriously. And basically what that means is we look at a little bit of everything, since we know you're not just that one little number from that one test that you didn't get enough sleep for. But we do also encourage that you multitest. We are able to super score here at Newberry. And basically what that means is that, say you tested on the SAT twice. The first test, that was your best math score, but the second time you tested, you improved on your math score. If you're able to send us both of those SAT scores, we'll create a whole new composite score, which will not only increase your admission potential, but also your scholarship potential. So at Newberry, like I mentioned, everyone receives a scholarship depending, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, and our scholarships range from $6,000 to $12,000 for an incoming freshman or first-time student. And then our transfer scholarships are actually only based on the transcript, and those range from the 2.0 all the way up, and those range from about $12,000 to $15,000. Merit-wise, for the test score, we do have averages of what a Newberry student does look like. So for a test score, we're looking for around a 19 on the ACT and around 1,000 on the SAT. And for GPA-wise, an average Newberry student has about a 3.5 GPA. So if you are a little bit lower on either of those for GPA or test score, it doesn't mean you're not going to get accepted. All that means is you need to send in some additional material. So that way we have more to look at and consider for you to see how well you will fit into the Newberry mold. Essentially, we make sure that you will do academically well at Newberry. So we're not looking for reasons to deny. We always want to look for reasons to accept. So you'll want to send in a personal essay and a recommendation letter, usually from either a teacher or a guidance counselor is what we prefer. Occasionally we will use an athletic coach, but we definitely prefer someone who has had more contact with you academically that can attest to your academic abilities. So definitely send in a little bit of everything. We can look at all things. Like I said, we're looking for reasons to accept, never to deny. So the more you send in to us, the more we have to review. So I'll let James touch in on how his university addresses test scores and scholarships and academics as well.
Yeah, so it's very similar actually for this year. With COVID and everything, not sure if we are going to be test optional this next year or not. So again, stay tuned for that. As of right now, we still require test scores and transcript to come in. Our average GPA is a 3.3, I believe is what the average is, but the minimum is lower than that. So even if you aren't quite there, that's fine. You could still possibly be accepted. And then test scores are 970 and 18 are the minimums, and then going from there, you can go better as well. And then for for the merit, how we calculate, if you want to know how we calculate merit, it's 50% off of GPA and 50% off of test scores. And so depending on where you land on either of those, it may be you may do well, even if one of them is not the best. Hunter, do you want to try to jump in, see if your audio is working?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, there it is. Let's turn it over to Hunter. He can talk about his university.
Absolutely. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Yeah, I can speak about Erskine for at least a couple of minutes. Like a lot of the other colleges on this panel, Erskine is a liberal arts college. We were founded in 1839. We're located in due west, which is about 45 minutes south of Greenville, South Carolina. So not too far from Columbia or Newberry. We have 18 majors, and then we have 40+ student organizations. And that's everything from literary societies, which is kind of our version of fraternities and sororities, as well as various different special interest clubs. And then in addition to that, we also have 22 NCAA Division II teams. So the more recent team that we added is football. We added that about a year ago now. And then some more unique ones would be fishing and even rodeo. And so like other liberal arts colleges, at Erskine, when you first come to Erskine, you'll take a little bit of everything. And so, your first semester, you'll have a biology class, a history class, an English class. And the goal there is for you to be well-versed in the variety of disciplines. And then your junior and senior year, you'll focus on your major. Students at Erskine don't have to declare their major until the end of their sophomore year. So they really get a chance to take a wide variety of different classes and really cultivate their interest. As with all the other colleges on this panel, our classes are small. The largest class you would have would be about 25 students. And that would be usually in your first 2 years at Erskine. But definitely when you get to your major and minor, especially your junior and senior year, the largest class would be maybe 10 to 12 students. So the classes are indeed pretty small. Here's a list of our majors and pre-professional programs. Some of our largest majors would be education, biology, as well as some of the humanities like history and political science, as well as psychology. Just want to talk with you a couple minutes about the application process. So students need 3 things to come to Erskine. They need to complete an application, which they can do online at apply.erskine.edu. They need to send in a copy of their transcripts. And so that'll be after you've completed your junior year, you'll be able to send in your transcripts. So if you're a senior now, you'll be able to send us your transcripts and that would count. And then a copy of either your ACT or SAT scores. As of now, we're still requiring students for fall 2021 year, but we're always kind of evaluating the situation. But as of now, students will need to submit those. And then once we get all 3 of those, it'll take us about roughly 2 weeks to make a decision and then get it back to the student. And yes, I know the other panelists were talking about financial aid and the different financial aid options that students get. Private school students, just like public school students, receive all the benefits from FAFSA. So they get both federal as well as a state tuition aid, and then that combines with the aid that students get from Erskine. So each student who comes to Erskine gets some form of scholarship. That could be an athletic scholarship, or it could be academic scholarships that are listed right here. And the academic scholarships are determined on the student's GPA as well as their test scores. So a student with a very high GPA and a high test score would be awarded the larger dean scholarship. And then if they're lesser, have a lesser GPA, have a lesser test scores, it would kind of go down from there. One last thing I would like to talk about, especially for seniors, but as well as juniors who are listening, we do offer something called the Presidential Scholarship Competition. That's a competition where students who have been admitted kind of early, so kind of mid-October, get to come on the campus and do team building activities, sit in a mock class. And the winner of the competition, we had 2 winners last year, receive a full ride. And then the runner-ups actually would get to receive full tuition off. So they just have to pay for room and board. But each student who is selected to attend the competition actually gets a $25,000 scholarship each year for all 4 years. So it ends up being a $100,000 scholarship for every student who's just selected to attend the competition and then decides to come. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me as I was having these technical issues. But yeah, thank you. And if Destiny is able to log on, I don't know if she was able to fix what was going on with her audio either. But I appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right. Well, we just have a couple more minutes. Just as a reminder, and StriveScan may jump in and tell this too, but just as a reminder, all this will be sent to you in a recording. It'll be available on the StriveScan website or the CACRAO website as well. And then we will get all the questions. If we didn't get to your question, then we will be able to answer that shortly. We'll get a transcript of those and send them in. And Hunter, did you have something else to add?
No, just yeah, I wanted to reiterate that the video will be open for students, and so if you have any more questions, I know this goes for every college, but you can go to our website. All the colleges have admissions pages where you can schedule tours for schools that are doing in-person tours, but I know about every school you're looking at is definitely doing virtual tours as well, and so that's a great way to get to see the college if you're not able to visit in person. Yeah,
and I would echo that. Recommend wherever you go to college, visit first. Make sure that you feel at home, or at least you know that what the college looks like. So visit campus first, check it out, either after you've applied or before you apply, and get a better idea of if you could see yourself as a student at that college. And I'd recommend going to multiple colleges to do that, to visit and apply to multiple, to keep your options open.
Thank you for joining us today. Once you close the window, there will be a quick survey, and there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide us with. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org, CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at CACRAO, once again, CACRAO.org. Thank you and have a good day.